Hey guys, this is AF, and you're watching Dev Diaries, a series where I talk about solo developing Pixel Wars. And for those of you who don't know, Pixel Wars is a turn based tactical PvP brawler game where players battle each other to the death uh, for glory and real money prizes. Um, if you're not familiar with the format, um, it's basically me talking, trying to keep it trying to keep it under 20 minutes. By the way, uh, me talking about some in-game stuff that I've been working on, or uh, that I find relevant for you guys, or you guys have been asking for me to cover. Um, Also, I'm going to talk about a game that I like and that I recommend to you guys. It's basically a game shout out. And we're also going to do a giveaway at the end. So this episode is going to be about PXL Heroes. I know you guys have been asking a lot of questions about this. And by the way, if you want to get in touch, feel free to browse any of the links below. Hop onto Discord. We have a dedicated channel for questions, and there's a lot of cool people there and are eager to talk to newcomers. So feel free and don't be shy. Uh, the game shoutout that I'm going to do this time is going to be Manor Lords, and we're going to get to see what that is all about pretty soon. And obviously, the giveaway, no surprise here, is going to be Stratus, our partner, a longtime cybersecurity partner, who is giving us some goodies to give away to some of our lucky members of the community. Cool. Now, before we get into it, I just want to take a couple of minutes to showcase this, which is a website I've been working on low key, like a solo secret project. Um, and it actually launched last week. And it's basically a one stop shop for everything that I do in terms of Dead Pixels, Cardano, and Pixel Wars. So obviously, you can go to pixels.af and you can interact with this platform. You can make me your DREP if you want. You can also delegate to the Dead Pixels stake pool if you like, as well by checking this box. You can see some live stats here as well. Obviously, the latest videos, the Dev Diaries, and you'll probably see this new one updated here as well once it goes live on YouTube, and some random, not random, but like useful various links to across the Dead Pixels ecosystem because it is a pretty big ecosystem. Okay, cool. Now that we're done with introduction, let's go to the meat of the subject. And before we talk about Pixel Heroes, we need to look at the old model that we had before, which we called forging. Now, forging, in terms of how it works in the background and on chain, um, hasn't changed at all. In terms of user interface, it has definitely changed. And let's look at the previous model so we can compare with the new one, and you guys can tell me in the comments which model is better. So the previous model involved picking from a list of attributes, 69 attributes from the Dead Pixels Genesis collection, and putting them on top of a base, one of the 5 bases that we have featured in the game. And basically, that's how you get your in-game character, right? So let's say that we want to put together a headphones attribute, a cigarette, headphones, and a pixel cap attribute, right? All of these, I would go, like, in terms of user experience, I would go through like a scroller menu. I would pick all of these out, add them to my shopping cart or forging cart, as I like to call it. And once I'm done with these, I'll also pick a base. Let's say we picked a dead base just for the sake of simplicity. And this would basically output this guy right here, our forged pixel here. So let me add this. So this plus this would give us this, which is great. It obviously allowed for a lot of versatility in terms of how we can customize our playable character. The downside is it took a lot of time to onboard yourself to this. You had to study all of the abilities that these attributes gave you, because these, like, all of the separate attributes would give you separate abilities, right? And by combining them, you would put each ability on this hero. So this hero, this resulting forged pixel, would get this ability and this ability and this one into one single pixel. So obviously, if we wanted to customize, you could say instead. So, for example, instead of cigarette, we could do chain, and basically we would get the chain instead of a cigarette, we get the chain ability, which could be passive, active, blah blah blah. We're not going to get into that specifically now. Now, this is all fine, and you guys know the model. My problem with this is it took a lot of time to actually get accustomed, and we risked user attrition very early on in the pre-game stage, as I like to call it, in the menus, let's say. And it basically requires a lot of expertise to actually get this right, and obviously, since this is also a real money game and people will actually have the option to pay for these and obviously play in real money games to be able to win prizes, it's like people might be a bit squeamish when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I basically decided to scrap this model in favor of a newer, cooler, sexier, sparklier, whatever you want to call it, model. Which brings me to PXL Heroes. It's PXL Heroes. Now, or Hero Pixels. I don't know. You tell me in the comments whichever you like best. We're probably going to do a Twitter poll as well at some point. So, regardless. Anyways, let's call them PXL Heroes for now. So these guys that you see are actually part of the Ding Royale, which is a program, in case you don't know, you can find out more about by going to getding.gg. It's showcased underneath me. It's basically a pilot program which we did in order to get some forged pixels in the hands of the community. And these are pre-forged pixels to begin with, which got me thinking, why not just introduce heroes, which is like a whole unit which has a specific set of attributes pre-built on it, and just let users pick from there. So like imagine opening the game, going through the menu, and being able to pick your hero, the hero that you want to play with, just by pointing and clicking or tapping on it and just clicking start game. Then we would basically just discard all of this insanely complicated user journey where I need to go through the list of all 69 attributes and pick whatever suits me or whatever I find interesting or whatever I find gives me a competitive edge over the other users, and combine with other ones for like some sort of synergy, and just build my character like that. Versus this, I mean, this is obviously in terms of user experience, this is obviously the winner. And I don't know, some games that you can compare them with, for example, League of Legends or Overwatch, right? Where you could get each hero has a specific set of abilities and a specific theme and a specific blah blah. So, what are the pros that we get from this new system? So, one pro is uh, we get to improve user experience, which is very important. Like the drop off rate in the menus would be insane if you had to onboard yourself to all of the whatever attribute can what every attribute can do. You need to document and so on. No, this greatly improves. Let's just give it a triple plus. Greatly improves user experience. Um, what else? What else can we like in terms of technical stuff? We can actually this helps us go to market faster with the game because instead of having to test uh, each attribute versus each attribute in all of their various combinations, not to mention introduce some sort of compatibility between the attributes because you can't wear like two headpieces at once. Uh, like we, there would be like an insane amount of work. That would be an insane amount of work of having to test these, play test them afterwards, fix bugs, compatibility stuff. It would be insane. So we get a much faster time to market for the game. What are the advantages does this give us? Well, in terms of aesthetics, we can actually choose what at the development stage we can actually choose, you know, how these heroes look like, right? So we basically give them their own little identities, similar to, like I mentioned earlier, League of Legends or Overwatch heroes, which they all have like their specific identities, their specific skins, and so on and so forth. So this gives us a great edge in terms of uh, hero identity, hero branding. Uh, let's just call it overall branding, right? A great plus, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, it's just better, I guess. Um, what else? Let's think about other other advantages that these guys give us. So we spoke about in terms of the from the user's perspective, from the developer's perspective, and from the marketing people's perspective. Well, I think this is enough, to be honest. I think this is a great example of how we can actually pivot from. I'm not saying that the previous model was wrong or anything like that, but you know, developing the game and as we move along, as we move forward with developing the game, you get to pick, you know, you get to choose, you get to realize some things, and then you get to say, okay, this is not necessarily good, or this is going to be um, not great for the user experience, and you know you have the ability to pivot from that into something else. And this is one of the great gifts that indie solo developing a game gives you. Right. So I hope you guys dig this new model, and I hope you know if you have questions, just feel free to ask in the comments or just go on Discord, or you know how to get to me, you know how to get in touch with me. Um, so yeah, let's move on to the next section of this dev diary. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna get into each of these characters that were part and are still part of Ding Royale, of the Ding Royale lineup. We're gonna get into each of them in future dev diaries, and we're gonna look at their abilities, and we're gonna, you know, make them fight each other and stuff like that. It's gonna be cool and awesome. One more thing that I want to say about this is that this is going to be the starting like the starting headline of War Pixels when we launch Pixel Wars Alpha. These guys. And you who participated in Ding Royale, in the Ding Royale program, which, by the way, you can still do by going to getding.gg, link below me. You can still participate and get your hands on one of these Pixel Heroes or Hero Pixels to be able to play in Alpha. So Alpha is going to be exclusive to Ding Royale participants. Just something to keep in mind, just so you guys know. All right, so enough of that. Let's hop on to the fun bit, which is Game Showcase. And this game's showcase or shout out is Manor Lords. Manor Lords is a city builder. It's basically a real-time strategy city builder, and if you'll love it if you played, if you loved Age of Empires or Stronghold, all that kind of stuff. It's a great game that I must admit I've been spending my evenings with lately. I find that it relaxes me a lot. So let's have a look at the trailer. Graphics are great, by the way. Yeah, you can basically get to build your own little town and then evolve from like evolve these villagers from like homeless people to a thriving society. You can actually you also get to you know, fight other lords for influence and stuff like that. It's very complex. It's very cool. It's a very cool game, and I liked how they developed it. It's very cool. And by the way, it's also a solo dev game. I think it took 7 years to develop, to put out, but the results are amazing. It's still in development, by the way. So this is like a sort of alpha version of the game, and you can find it on all of the platforms. Personally, I'm using Steam, so I got it from there, and it's been a great hit, to be honest. Like, it's been such a great hit, and I think it sold about. Actually, I tweeted recently about this. It sold over 2.5 million copies since it came out in last spring, I think, in May. Amazing. If you imagine, like, if you compare it to, I don't know, Hogwarts Legacy, which sold north of 20 million copies. Insane. One guy. Well, obviously, after a while, he got some other people to help him out after he got funded and stuff like that. But still, solo dev game. Great game. Yeah. So, Manor Lords, check it out. Cool. So, last section of the Dev Diary is our giveaway, which is, again, we'll be giving out a Malwarebytes 1-year license to a lucky fellow who's part of the DEADPXLZ Discord. Just find the links below, and also is a verified holder on the Discord, and also is following Stratus Security on Twitter. And this is their Twitter, and just go follow them. They're our cybersecurity partner over at DEADPXLZ, and they're doing a great job for us, and I couldn't be more happy with them. Cool. So this has been it, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed the little talk about our new Pixel Hero lineup, and I hope you have a great weekend, or had a great weekend, depending when you're watching this. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.